I mean, if you're a D2C brand, the value of owning your customer data through email lists, through pixels, through retargeting efforts is extremely valuable. And with Amazon, you don't get access to that information. So the question is, why should I push traffic to Amazon versus why should I, or why shouldn't I just push that traffic to my Shopify store or BigCommerce or WooCommerce, whatever it is? It's the same reason that we said at the beginning, is that 70% of consumers are coming to Amazon to search for products. Now, if you're not pushing traffic that you already have towards Amazon, it's not maximizing the visibility that you would have on the platforms.
Martians landed.
Yes.
Wearing Prada suits.
Yes.
Drinking Henry Seltzer.
Yes.
Chewing juicy fruit.
Yes, and?
Your branding here.
Yes, brand.
Your message here.
Yes, and?
A verse about
Yes.
your product here.
Yes.
I'm Hirsch Redmond.
Yes, and?
I'm a message therapist.
Yes.
And I have a podcast.
Yes, brand.
That's right, that's it.
Yes.
We'll help you fix the world.
Yes.
Or your bottom line.
All right.
Your bottom line.
Get it. I get it. Welcome to the Yes Brand Podcast.
In the Yes Brand hot seat today is Mike Begg. Mike is taking brands from $1 million to $10 million in sales. He's an Amazon expert. So sit up and pay attention, everybody, because I know that we all think we're experts in Amazon. We're probably experts in purchasing on Amazon, through Amazon. I don't know if we're experts in making Amazon work for us as vendors. So welcome, Mike, to Yes Brand.
Thank you, Hirsch. And I mean, I love those experts too. The ones that keep coming back and buying my clients' products help a lot. So keep doing that.
That's right. Well, let's start with the need for expertise on the part of your clients. What is it that a lot of vendors are missing? What are they missing out on?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing that most vendors, most sellers don't consider is like how much traffic actually goes to Amazon. And the numbers now is something like 70% of all online product searches start on the Amazon platform. So when we're talking about product and brand discovery, that's where like being on the platform needs to be priority number one. Because if you're not there, how is anyone going to actually find your brand when you have such a high volume there? I mean, obviously there are other channels, but naturally you want to be where people's attention is, and it makes sense to be there because of that. So that's the first thing. But the other thing is just kind of navigating all the competition that happens on the marketplace. So many brands think they'll just throw up their products and, that's it. Everyone's going to come find it and, they're going to start selling a ton. And that's not the case. I mean, you need to be able to differentiate your product. Most customer searches are also non-branded unless you have like incredible brand loyalty. So if I'm, I don't know, Yeti, and I'm selling a water bottle or a thermos or whatever, someone's coming to Amazon searching thermos. They're not searching Yeti all the time. I mean, maybe for Yeti, that's a well-known brand, they might be doing that. But you are competing against every other brand that's trying to be represented on that same word. So just being there is not good enough. You need to figure out how to position yourself with advertising, with SEO, create consideration between competitor products using the advertising tools available to you. So there's a whole lot of different things that need to be done on Amazon that most brands are not considering when they first launch on the platform.
Yeah, and a lot of competitor brands are, spending money on search for your term. If you're a market leader, they're trying to get your market share. And so if you're not, spending on your own behalf or savvy on your own behalf, someone else is going to be taking advantage of that space. So walk us through a little bit what the experience is like for those who are listening who may be new to selling on Amazon.
Sure. So, I mean, the experience of selling on Amazon is essentially, the basics: get the product up, get the content looking good. I mean, when it comes to content, the first thing you need to consider is that you want to create a similar brand feel to what you're putting out on other platforms. So you want to keep your branding colors, your font, your other creatives consistent with what you have on social media, what you have on your own website, so the customer has somewhat of a feel. Obviously, Amazon, you can't customize the entire Amazon platform, but your product images, your A+ content, your storefront on Amazon, all of that is customizable, as well as the voice that you're using in the copy that you're creating. So making sure that your content is set up to represent the brand would be the first step, no matter what. From there, like you mentioned, making sure your brand's protected from competitors trying to steal market share from you. Obviously, if someone's coming to Amazon, they generally are pretty brand loyal, or they're searching for a specific brand when they use your brand name in the search. But it doesn't mean that they're not going to churn. And this is a conversation I have all the time with brands about, am I cannibalizing my organic search by spending on ads? Like, am I wasting money on this type of advertising? And what we found is there are some instances where there is cannibalization, but the most of the time, by advertising on your own brand name, you're getting a better conversion rate or a better return than you would if you didn't. So an example of this, we compared conversion rates for a customer product for their top 10 keywords. The average conversion rate on paid advertising was about 35%. The average conversion rate on organic search was about 12%. So if you weren't there showing up in the ad space, customers were potentially clicking on other ads and going to buy those. And if you're not showing up on your branded search terms, your competitors are, and they're going to your competitors' pages and buying the products from them. So that's where you really start seeing leakage in your sales funnel. And that's the next thing that you really need to focus on as a brand. From there, like I said, it's about scaling up the sales funnel, working on how do I tighten up bottom of the funnel? How do I work on consideration in the middle of the funnel? Then how do I build a brand awareness? There's advertising tools for all of those.
Yeah, and we have to remember also that the customer, because as you say, so much search goes directly to Amazon, that the customer, if we're not talking about if they don't have a particular brand preference, like a lot of times we'll go on Amazon, we'll be looking for something, and as we both pointed out, some other brand will jump ahead with their ad or jump ahead with their placement. But there's so much stuff available on Amazon that sometimes the brand, isn't first and foremost in their mind. And even less savvy, consumers will just assume that the first things that come up are the things that are recommended, or the things that are the best, or the things that are the most popular. And those are paid placements. How do you navigate that landscape?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly the problem, is that customers aren't aware. I mean, generally customers going to the platform are looking for deals. They're not looking for, unless they're willing to pay a premium for a brand name, they're just going there. And, if they search Yeti thermos and someone else's thermos pops up, they're going to buy it because it's cheaper. It showed up on the search results. They're not paying attention to what it is. And they have a ton of other distractions going on, taking away their time. So you got to make it as easy as possible for the customers to actually buy your product as a brand owner. So yeah, that's first and foremost. I mean, we've kind of talked about that a few times now. When it comes to leveraging the other tools or the other ways to gain traffic on Amazon, I mean, you have ad placements on product detail pages. So below the bullet points on your desktop, below the buy box, that's all an ad placement. The carousels that are on product pages and search result pages, those are all ad placements. So there's a variety of different ways to start leveraging the ad tools to help capture more sales for your brand. Typically, what we recommend is the sponsored products to begin with. That's more of a bottom of the funnel product where you're going to be able to advertise in search results. And that's where most purchases happen. So when we look at these in search placement results, you have like top of placement, and then randomly sometimes if you scroll down, you'll see like other sponsored ads in the middle. You need to be bidding to be at the top placements because conversions happen much more frequently at top of search placements than they happen at other product placements throughout that platform. So being there, advertising, and knowing how to maximize your conversions is going to be key. It's obviously going to cost a little bit more to be top of search, but at the end of the day, that's where customers are buying products. They're not going through all the way to the other pages that are on Amazon. They're not clicking to page 2, 3, whatever, looking for a product. It's a similar concept to what you see with Google, is that the top 3 search results have like 80% of all clicks, I think it is. And the rest is like the next 19% is the rest of page 1, and like 1% is page 2 and on. So if you're not there top of mind, you're not going to convert, you're not going to get the traffic.
Yeah. Now let's talk a little bit about AMZ, your company in particular. Kind of what brought you to create when did that company launch?
We started the company in 2015, so it's been 9 years.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, so that's been a very interesting run. So tell us, some of the differentiators.
Yeah, so it was actually interesting when we came in 2015, we were one of the first agencies out there. There were a couple enterprise level agencies, but there really wasn't anyone that was kind of in our space in mid-range. And we had the opportunity to work with a lot of unique brands. So the way that we realized the opportunity was we were actually selling products ourselves, myself and my partners. We were importing products from China, selling them online. And one of the products we were selling were art supplies. And we realized in the art supply category, we were competing against Crayola and we were beating Crayola. And Crayola is a multinational, multi-billion dollar company. And we're a small little startup. And we were like, all right, well, this does make sense. So no one knows what they're doing on the platform. And that's kind of where the realization came from. From there, we had the opportunity to work with a lot of other big brands. We worked with Burt's Bees, Clorox, Polaroid, who else? Johnson & Johnson. So like a variety of household names we've worked with. And that's kind of how we started to grow the company. From there, we started differentiating ourselves in the space by focusing on a content marketing strategy and establishing authority within the space through content marketing. So that's kind of how we started the company. The early success we had with some big brands. And then we've leveraged our knowledge and our learning experiences with those brands to position ourselves within the industry as one of the leaders.
And having accomplished that, what is on the agenda now? The landscape's always changing. Stuff is, competition, I imagine, is shifting and changing. What's on the horizon?
So it's actually been an interesting like 2-3 years in the past when we look back, and it's kind of interesting to see how it's going to affect things going forward. Aggregators was all the rage for a while on Amazon. They were trying to buy up agencies. A lot of smaller agencies were struggling and were combining with other agencies. So these were really individuals that are calling themselves agencies, and they're really just freelancers or consultants. So we saw a lot of consolidation already in the space. There's still a lot of big companies out there that are still trying to consolidate, and many marketing agencies don't have an in-house e-commerce team or don't have the same capabilities that, a company that's been doing this for 10 years in the space has the ability to do. So for us, what we see in the next 2-3 years is obviously Amazon's going to continue to grow. Part of that is going to be the platform is going to continue to be more pay to play. You're going to have to pay to get the advertising placements, pay to get the visibility. And that's really where you need someone that understands all the intricacies of that. So from a client service standpoint, we see ourselves really well positioned to help our brands continue to take advantage of the platform. We also see the value in, because it's going to be so much more pay to play, in figuring out how to bring traffic from other sources. So can we bring traffic through affiliate? Can we bring traffic through influencer, through UGC creators, all those types of people to drive people to Amazon for us, because the cost of our advertising on that is going to be lower than what we're going to see on the Amazon platform. So at this stage in time, continuing to find new ways to evolve our services to provide a better outcome for our clients that's more affordable, is more scalable in the long term, and allows us to continue to invest ad dollars to helping their brand scale on the platform.
Yeah, that's really interesting too, Mike, because from my perspective, coming from the creative branding front, where you're always looking at different platforms, different channels, different formats, because each one is an opportunity to consolidate a brand message, right? And sharpen it and speak more directly to a specific audience, as opposed to one of the things that a perception that you might have with Amazon is you're going into a marketplace where everything is so formatted and uniform and, best practice oriented that you don't know if you can really make yourself stand out through your messaging,
Exactly.
In terms of that. And then we talked about how much of the market, points to Amazon. How much on the other side are brands availing themselves of Amazon? Is there still any resistance? Is there still some resistance from, we talked about poachers and all kinds of challenges. Are there still some resistance among brands to put themselves on there?
I think one of the big challenges here is that a lot of brands don't have a very tight supply chain. And I think that's one of the things that's affecting them. So a common example of this is that, they have 100 different, that's an exaggeration. They have 20 different distributors, and the 20 different distributors have 30 resellers each that are buying the product from them and then turning around to sell it on Amazon. So now by not controlling your supply chain with map agreements and product serialization and lot serialization, you've created all this competition for your own brand on Amazon. So I think that's like one area where we still see a lot of resistance is like, hey, my distributors are already buying this. The brands themselves are more used to a traditional retail model versus an e-commerce D2C model, and they're comfortable with that and they don't want to change. And that's fine. Like we see that frequently. You don't need to be. At the end of the day, these resellers are the ones marketing your products online and they are selling that way, but you don't have any control over pricing. You don't have any control over branding. You don't have any control over the platform itself. And that's really the thing that brands are giving up when they go that way. The other thing where we really see resistance is around customer data. I mean, if you're a D2C brand, the value of owning your customer data through email lists, through pixels, through retargeting efforts is extremely valuable. And with Amazon, you don't get access to that information. So the question is, why should I push traffic to Amazon versus why should I, or why shouldn't I just push that traffic to my Shopify store or BigCommerce or WooCommerce, whatever it is? It's the same reason that we said at the beginning is that 70% of consumers are coming to Amazon to search for products. Now, if you're not pushing traffic that you already have towards Amazon, it's not maximizing the visibility that you would have on the platform. So if you're driving more sales on Amazon, you're going to show up higher organically. Your advertising is going to perform better. All of that's going to help you acquire more customers at a lower rate overall, at a lower expense overall. And the other metric that really highlights this is that the average conversion rate on Amazon is about 8%. Your average conversion rate on Shopify is about 1 to 3%. So when it comes to acquiring customers more efficiently, Amazon is a better platform for that. You as the brand owner, or as a D2C owner, I should say, now need to figure out, once my consumer purchases my product, how do I get them to consider coming to my website? And there's a variety of different techniques for that, like product inserts, product warranties, all types of things. You really just got to see how Amazon fits within the broader e-commerce funnel for your brand.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, because you might as well feed that beast, so to speak, and commit to that platform so that you're fully exploiting everything that it has to offer, as opposed to resisting or say, I'm going to dabble, and I'm going to go in this platform and put a little here, put a little there, put a little there. You want to really kind of double down on the visibility, if anything, 100%. And this is really great stuff. And I think that obviously there's a lot more to this that people should be finding out. Where do people find you? What are some of the things that you point people to when they want to learn how AMZ can help them?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way to find me is directly on our website, amzadvisors.com. You can also reach me through my email, mike@amzadvisors.com, or follow me on LinkedIn. I'm usually posting a lot of content on there as well. When it comes to learning, I mean, there's a ton of free resources out there. I would personally recommend our blog is a great place. There's a ton of free YouTube content out there to learn as well. We also offer a course. So there's a variety of different ways that you can learn. It's just a matter of what your preference is on how to learn. And we're glad to help you figure out what the best way to get your brand started or how to learn about leveraging the platform better is.
And to kind of wrap this up, if you could give some piece of advice to a young brand owner starting out in business in today's world, it's 2024, and they're about to bring their brand to market through resellers, through a process like this, what's a core kind of nugget that you could share with them?
I would say a few different things. First of all, like if you're a young brand owner, D2C is a great place to start your focus. And if you're going to do D2C, focus on your own website and focus on Amazon. Those two things combine very well together. The other thing that you just got to consider is where people's attention is, or where your ideal customer's attention is. So good example of this, I had a call today with a startup. They were selling a product that is essentially targeted towards college students. Well, a great place to attract college students right now, or a younger audience, is TikTok. So you need to figure out where your target audience is and figure out how you can create that brand awareness and traffic. The people that are seeing it on TikTok are going somewhere else to buy it. They're probably going to Amazon. They might go to your website. So by having those pieces in place already, it's going to help you be much more successful down the road.
If you liked the show,
Yes, and
it worked for you,
yes, and
subscribe and leave a
yes, friend.
5-star review.
Yes, friend.
Tell all your friends.
Yes, friend.
Get your branding here.
Yes, friend.
Get your branding here.
Yes, friend.
Did I make it clear?
Yes, friend.
Get your branding on
Yes.
before they're gone.